In this lesson, we'll be adding a couple more corridor walls and then adding a 45-degree angle to the center of the core. Not every wall you model is going to have perfect 90-degree angles. In the middle of the corridor, we're going to add some bevels to widen the center part of the building. The objective of this exercise is to add a couple more reference planes and do some simple editing commands to create 4 45-degree corners. Open the file you've been working on or open the file called Chapter 3 and follow along. The first thing I want to do is add the corridor going north and south. To do that, I want to establish another centerline reference plane. To do so, right-click on this horizontal reference plane and create similar. I want to snap to the midpoint of this wall. Make sure you're on the very inside finished face. Notice that Revit ignores this condition over here and understands to project the center point all the way down the wall. Once you see the midpoint, pick it. Come down here and pick this midpoint. Hit escape a couple times. Right-click on this horizontal partition and go to create similar. On the options bar, let's give it an offset of 4 feet. Let's draw a line starting from the inside of this wall all the way down to the inside of this wall. Draw the same line straight back up again till you meet this intersection here. Hit escape a couple times. Let's make sure all our walls are cleaned up. And again, we're missing one, so select the wall and bring it into the core a little further just to make sure the joins are cleaned up. Let's zoom in on the center corridor part and see what we have to do. We're going to have 4 45-degree angles going down through our walls. The first thing we need to do is establish a reference plane that's up 4 feet. What I'm going to do is right-click on this horizontal reference plane and create similar. On my draw panel, I'm going to use my Pick Lines button. On my options bar, I'm going to set an offset for 4 feet. I'm going to come down to the inside face of this wall. I'm going to offset a wall up that's 4 feet. Once you see the temporary reference line, you know you're good to go. Once you see it, pick the inside face of the partition and hit escape a couple times. Now we just need to draw the wall in. Go ahead and right-click on this horizontal corridor wall and go to create similar. Let's go ahead and find this intersection between the reference plane and the inside face of the wall and pick it. Notice that our wall is flipped in the wrong orientation, so go ahead and hit your spacebar to flip it into the correct orientation. Also notice that it snaps to a perfect 135 degrees. Once you see that snap at 135 degrees, go ahead and extend your wall down into the center line of the other wall. Hit escape a couple times, and you're all set. It's time to mirror this wall. Go ahead and select this wall and click the Mirror Pick Axis or type MM. Click the reference plane center line, and you've got it. Hold down the Control key, select this wall, and mirror it again. See how easy those reference planes make it? They were a pain to put in, but now it's good we have them. Hit escape a couple times. The next thing we want to do is clean up this entire intersection to get rid of these extraneous walls. There's one trick I'd like to show you, and it's on the Modify tab. It's called the Split Element command. If we type Split Element, make sure on the options bar we have Delete Inner Segment checked on. The trick is to delete these walls at the intersections that they appear at, and they're going to disappear in the middle. So the first thing I want to do is let's zoom right in on this wall and click a point right about here. Let's come down to the next wall and pick a point right about here. We can clean that up in a moment. Let's find a spot here, zoom in on it, and click a point right about there. And come down to this wall and click a point right about there. If we zoom in a little better, it's easier. Do the same for the horizontal walls. Zoom in a little bit. And Revit will clean them up. If you have some weird thing going on like this, or like this, All we need to do is trim these walls up. On the Modify tab, click the Trim Extend to Corner button. Then select the two walls you want to trim together, and Revit's going to make that trim. Hit Escape a couple times and you're all set. The last thing I want to do is delete this extra reference plane. Every now and then, too many reference planes just gets in the way. So go ahead, select it, and hit your Delete key. Good, there we go. That was worth doing. In Revit, you're going to find yourself in this exact situation many times over. Now that you know how to set reference planes, then modify your walls, delete the reference planes, cut some corners, trim some stuff out, you're going down the right path, or in this case, corridor.